Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Excited to be here. So when I'm gonna jump right into this very quickly. If you're struggling with follow up and you've got those sticky notes all over the place, and maybe you've got notes here, notes there, and you reached out to somebody and you're like, what the heck do I do next? Well, what I did was I just made up the name, not a big deal. It's called My Crazy Google Sheets Follow Up. And basically, I went in just like everybody else, and I went to YouTube and I learned how to insert formulas, and I learned all this stuff to make it easy for you. I'm going to show you how I use it. And then, of course, if you'd like a copy of the Google Sheets that I use, that you can go in and put your own stuff in, all the formulas are built in. So I'm gonna walk through it. I'll walk you through it. I'm going to show you the formulas. And then if you decide that you want it, feel free to reach out to me, and you'll be able to use it. And of course, you can come back and watch this video right here. You can watch this actual on replay, and you can catch the how-tos on it. So hopefully you get some value from this. If you're jumping on and I haven't met you before, make sure you tell me what part of the country you're chiming in from, and maybe throw up what are you challenged with? What's your challenge when it comes to follow-up? Go ahead and throw that down in the comments. Appreciate that. So check this out. If you don't know me, my name is Forrest Knight. I'm a social media marketing strategist and coach with the Ray Higgin Coaching Group. I coach small business entrepreneurs, network marketers on how to succeed on social media. Do follow-up things just like this, right? Do follow-up, build big businesses, build their list, and all of that standard marketing stuff. Absolutely excited to do that. If you don't have a coach in your network marketing, I recommend you get one that's going to kick you in the butt and keep you on the straight and narrow. So let's jump into this. Hopefully everything is working the way it's supposed to work. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and do it. Let me go full screen there. And I've got all this up over here I need. So hopefully the audio is fine and everybody can hear me. If not, well, worst case scenario, I'll have to start all over again, right? So here is my crazy follow-up Google Sheets form. Nothing crazy. The cool thing about Google Sheets and Google is it's free. You don't have to pay for it. You can set it up. You can use it. You can access it from anywhere that you have access to the internet. Hey Heather, thanks for swinging by. So check this out. Feel free again. As I walk through this, I'm going to go pretty quickly, but remember, you'll have access. You can come back and watch this on the repeat. Feel free to tag your friends, and make sure, please subscribe and hit the like button below. I guess the like button's the thumbs up. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel below. I truly appreciate that. If you have any comments, throw those in the comment section below. If you have any questions, throw those in the question section. So you'll notice that a couple of things when I jump into this, just so you know ahead of time. I'm going to show you how to use all the stuff on this sheet. But up here, you notice it says make a copy, save to your drive. Everyone else will see it. So when I share this with you, I'm going to ask for your Gmail address to share this to you. You're going to have to come up here to the file, and you're going to have to hit make a copy. If you don't make a copy, when I share this with you, everybody in the world is going to be able to see all the work that you're doing, and hopefully they wouldn't be so bad to steal your stuff, but they might just come in and delete it because they're like, what is this doing on here? So make sure that you make a copy. When I share this to you, you're going to come up here, hit make copy, then you can go in and do whatever to. But if you'd like me to send you a copy of this, reach out to me, and I'm on YouTube, so I have no clue. Maybe just comment below. You can send me a direct message, and we will get a copy over to you. Again, I will need your Gmail address to be able to do that. So check this out. This is I'm going to look over this way. So if I'm not looking directly at the camera and you're looking at the side of my head, please excuse me, because my Google Sheets is over here on this side, and I can't move it over this monitor or it'll disappear. So I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to go ahead and get me out of the way just for a minute so you guys can see this. I'm going to blow this up. So this is my crazy, I don't know whatever you want to call it. You'll notice on here I have all these columns on this. There's the contact date. That would be today's date. So for example, I'm out prospecting, right? I'm doing some cold prospecting, and today is 9/27. So I'm going to do 9/27, and I'm going to be sort of meticulous in how I walk through this. I'm not going to rush. So I put in today's date, and I'm going to put in their name, and we'll say her name is Lillian Wang, right? And this is actually a real person. I completely spelled her name wrong. Lily Ann. There we go. Lillian Wang. Now, right now, I don't have her phone number or her email address, but I do have her social media contact details. So let's say I contacted her over on LinkedIn and I sent her a message and I said, hey, um, I'm expanding my business online, curious to keep you up and open to other income opportunities, whatever your prospecting script is, right? So I reached out to her and Lillian says, sure. I'm going to choose my source. So I copied her LinkedIn profile. I'm going to come back and share this to you why I did that in a minute. Choose your source as LinkedIn. I'm going to show you how to change these here. I'm going to come back to this. The presentation tool. What did I send her? And I'm going to show you how to update and do this as well. I'm going to send her, or I sent her what we call our IDA site. It's for our Elevate Education platform. Next, I'm going to choose the date that Lillian and I agreed for a follow-up, right? So that's the date that I agreed to do a follow-up with her, and that would have been tomorrow, which is 9/28. I agreed to a follow-up. Now, what's cool about this is the way I have all the formulas set up. When I automatically put this date in here, I have to use this date format, 9/28/2021. You have to use this date format right here, or the rest of the formula will not work, right? And it will automatically fill in the rest of these days. So I've got a 4-day, 7-day, and again, that's up to you when you want to follow up. I've got a 15-day, a 30-day, a 45-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day, and you can expand these out as far as you want to go. And you'll notice if I ended up with another person, let's say I met someone else tomorrow, I got another follow-up the day after, and I need to do a follow-up, let's say on 9/30. So I type in 9/30/2021, and it's going to automatically adjust all these dates. And now I'm going to walk through and show you how to do all the formulas in here. So if you want to adjust the dates for your follow-up, I'll explain these here really quickly why I do these. So I have a 4-day follow-up. Let me come back here to me and y'all. I think that's like that. Yep. So let me in my 4-day follow-up, the reason I have a 4-day follow-up and I put 4/7-day is a 4-day follow-up. Say for example, and the reason for this is when somebody ghosts you, right? A 4-day follow-up is when somebody ghosts you. So I talked to Lillian. I set a follow-up for her tomorrow. We're supposed to meet at a certain time tomorrow. I either message her. I usually like to do what I call a Zoom appointment, right? A Zoom chat or a StreamYard chat like this. I want to follow up with her. I'm going to follow up with Lillian tomorrow. And say, for example, she no-shows me. So I want to do what I call a 4-day follow-up. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 4 days. It can be 3 days. It can be 6 or 7 days or whatever, somewhere in that time frame. It's not the exact time, but it's the process. And the 4-day follow-up goes something like this. Hey, Lillian, apologies. I'm apologizing. Apologize for not following up with you. Been crazy busy. How are you? And my whole point of that conversation, my whole point of that message is to get her to reply back to me, right? She's probably going to go, crap, I missed the appointment, right? She's probably going to go, crap, I missed the appointment. Now, LinkedIn moves a little bit slow sometimes, so she may not be back on LinkedIn for a little while, but I'm actually going to open her LinkedIn profile. I'm going to show you how that works here in a minute. But that's my 4-day follow-up process. My 15-day follow-up process is what I call my crap or get off the pot follow-up. What I do on my 15-day is say, hey, especially if she doesn't reply back to me on the 4-day, I'm going to send her a message and say, hey, Lillian, it looks like what I'm doing right now, it looks like what I'm doing isn't a fit for you right now. I get it. Not a big deal. You're probably crazy busy like I am. I'm going to swing back by and check on you in about 45 days to see if it's a better fit for you then, right? And who knows, something crazy might have happened in her life, something tragic, hopefully not, happened that she didn't show me. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule my next follow-up for the 45-day. And I have a way that I highlight this so that my next follow-up would be with her, would be on, say, November 1st, which would be 45 days from today. And I'm going to go out and re-engage with her again. Then my whole goal here isn't to chase somebody, right? It's not to chase somebody. If she says, hey, I'm going to say, this looks like you're crazy busy like I am. This may not be a fit for you right now. Absolutely okay. No big deal. I'm going to discontinue follow-up for right now. I'm going to reach back out to you in about 45 days to see if that's a better fit for you. So that's my follow-up for my 45-day follow-up. I'm getting her off my pot, right? There's no sense for me doing a 30-day follow-up when she's not there. Now, if she doesn't respond to me in 45 days, I'll probably go ahead and do some update deflections here. When I get out to my 90-day follow-up, I'm going to sort of roll back to day one and say, hey, 90 days ago, I reached out to you on LinkedIn. You said you were open to looking at other income opportunities. curious if things have changed. If you'd be open to looking at it now, or taking another look now, or if you're open now, or some type of language like that, because I want to bring her back to day one, right? And say, hey, here's what's going on day one. On day 60, I may do sort of a deflection update. Hey, Lillian, a couple of months ago, you said you're open to taking a look at opportunity. Absolutely okay. It might not be a fit for you. Do you know anyone that might be looking to earn a little bit of extra money working from home on the internet if it doesn't interfere with what they're currently doing? Appreciate the referral, right? So it's like an update deflection on what's going on. I'm going to deflect from her and ask for some referrals in that fashion. So that's the sort of the process that I use. You can use whatever process you want to, but you need to follow up. And the follow-ups are going to be based on who the customer is. If it's a customer, something you sold, you're going to have a different sequence of follow-ups than if it's a prospect for somebody you're trying to build and bring on board the business. So I put Lillian's information here, the date that I contacted her, put her name in here. If I have a phone and an email, if I have a phone, I'm calling and texting. I'm getting off of social media and I'm going straight to the phoneonomics, right? I'm texting and calling and texting. That's going to be the same messages, but I'm just moving it to a mobile version to get her into my space faster. I want this to happen faster. The reason I put their social media URL in here, and you'll notice I have one for Facebook and Instagram and whatever. I'm not sure I can't remember what VRP was, but anyway. So I have the social media link in. So I just have to hover over here. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to open a new tab. The reason I do this, just say that I have 15 follow-ups that I need to do for the day. When her tab is open up here for my follow-ups, right? If I don't have a phone number, doesn't matter what day follow-up over here. If I go through every day, every person on here that has a follow-up for today's date, I'm going to be able to reach out to them. I'll open the tabs. But Forrest, how do you find dates? Watch this. So let's say I have multiple people down here with multiple dates. So let's see if this will just pull down dates for me. Oh, it did. It added in dates. And it's going to give me various dates and times. And let's say today is October 15th. And I want to find all the follow-ups that are supposed to be done. Hold on, let me do this just a little bit more. So that gives you an example. Okay. So I've got a whole bunch of people on my list. I've got hundreds of people or however many. I have a big list. And I can't go through and try to figure out which one is due on, say, October 15th. So let's pretend today is October 15th. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a Control F. Notice a little find box pops up here. Here's how I search for everybody that needs a follow-up on October 15th. I'm going to go 10152021. And you'll see that it highlights everybody that's due on the 15th. Or let's say today is October 5th, right? And I'm going to follow up with everybody on October 5th. So I do October 5th, 2021. It's going to say that there's 2 people that I need to follow up with on the 5th. Now, of course, this may be a 1-day follow-up. It could be a 4-day follow-up. It could be a 30-day follow-up. But everybody that's due on today's date is going to highlight in green, and it's going to give me a number over here. The number I did this about 2 weeks ago, and that number was 271. It was one of 271 follow-ups. I was like, holy crap buckets. I'm not following up with 271 people today. So what I did is I went through about 20 or so. It takes a little bit of time to do follow-up. It takes longer to do follow-up than prospecting. So I set a time limit for myself, and I worked through the time, and then I moved some of them to following days, and I managed to push the rest of them into the next 3 or 4 days over a time frame and moved out their follow-up dates so that I could come back. And that's how I do that. So as I follow up with somebody, say it's October 5th, and I followed up with this person that's on this line here, I'm simply going to come up and I'm going to put in my follow-up, and I highlight it in yellow as a completed follow-up. That's how I do. Now, if somebody's like, hey, I'm not interested, I line them out in an entire red. I'll turn them red. If somebody enrolls and becomes a customer, I put them in green. Or if somebody needs a future follow-up, say, for example, Lillian says, reach back out to me in 45 days. I'm going to reach out back out to her in 45 days. I'm going to highlight this all in orange. And then the day I'm going to follow up with her, I'm putting it in a turquoise. This way I know that this is my personal way of keeping track of my colors. I've been using these colors. When I say forever and ever and ever, I started as an internet sales manager. I started using these color codes. That's why they're stuck in my brain. So this is a completed follow-up. This means I've got a future follow-up. This is the date that I'm going to follow up in the future. If it's red, it's dead. If it's green, they're in, they're go, they're a customer, and they're good to go. So as I go through, hopefully that made sense to you in terms of how to follow up with somebody on the Google Sheet. So that's how you actually follow up with somebody. So again, the explanation of putting their LinkedIn URL here is if I have 15 people to follow up, I can just right click and open up each one of their URLs in a tab. I can go to the messenger. I can send them a message really quick rather than try to track them down somewhere. Like if I had them written down, I've got to go search for them. This way, I simply they just hover over it, right click it, open a new tab, it pops up. So if I've got 15 of these people, I can come in here, then I just have to send message, and I can send a message for the follow-up and keep it really, really simple in terms of following up with Lillian or whoever else is on my follow-up sheet. And you can go as far as you want to. I like to do different months on the tabs down here. If you see on the tabs, I have November 21 down here. I could create a duplicate tab of December and then January, and I can move them out. That way, if it's say 6 months from now, we're all in March, and I want to go back 6 months to see who I need to follow up with, I can come back to the November tab and see who's on the 6 month tab. Either way you want to do it, it's just to help you be organized. There's no right or way wrong. If you just want to do a running list and have this list as big and as deep as you want to, not going to hurt you at all. If you want to go out more than 90 days and go here, you can. So let's talk about these formulas. Let's see how these work. Let's go over to this first where it says source. The source is where you found them, right? Did you find them? Was it a business card? Was it a phone call? Was it in the phone book? Was it on LinkedIn? Was it on Instagram? Was it on TikTok? Where did you find the people? So how do you do this? So you're going to right click into this box, and you're going to scroll down to where it says data validation. You're going to do the little pull down item here where it says list of items. In between each source, you need to put a comma. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do anything on Twitter, so I can take Twitter off of there. I don't know what VRP is. I don't know what that is. We'll say, you know what? I actually have scan code because I have some scan codes on the back of my shirts that I walked around with. Scan code. I can put a space in between the words. I just have to put a comma to separate them. TikTok would be one. I already put Instagram on there, so that's cool. And I'm going to hit save. Now I have a list in my uppermost pull down: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, scan code, TikTok. Now I want to add them to the rest of these. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click this, and there's a little square that pops up in this right-hand box. I'm going to simply pull that all the way down here. I'm going to pull it all the way down, and let me do this. I don't know why. I do know why I turned everything orange. Let's come back here. Let's make everything white. And of course, it's not on LinkedIn. I can just delete that out. I probably should have done that first and then did this like this and then pull it down. Right? I pull that fall down, and you'll notice on any one of these, if I do a little pull down arrow, it shows me my other code. So I just click into that. So that's how you do that. So again, you right click on it, go down to data validation, create your list. You have to put a comma between each item. You don't have to put a comma between each word. Like scan code is one group, so I put a comma before it and a comma after it. Then I'm going to hit save. Come up here to my little, I'm going to click in it. It's going to highlight it and grab my little square here with my crosshair. I'm going to drag that down. Now, presentation tool. What did I send them in a presentation tool? Same thing again. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to right click on it, come down to data validation tool, list of items. What did I send them for a presentation tool? Was it we have what we call an iDecide. Oh, thanks for the food, babe. A Zoom presentation, maybe like I did a Zoom chat or a business opportunity presentation, whatever presentation tool you gave them, that's what I would put in here. It just helps me keep track of what I'm doing. It's like I said before, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to come in here, and I'm not going to highlight that one and drag it down because I'll have to change everything orange. Not that big of a deal, but we'll delete it. Come back to the color here, and then I'm just going to come here and I'm going to drag it all the way down, just like I did the other one. I'm going to release it, and you'll see down here, it's got all of my items that I need to change it. So that's how you adjust what you put in these list of items. So I'm coming here, I'm going to come in here, source I found on LinkedIn. I'm going to pull down the source here. I did an Elevate iDecide that I sent her. I set up the follow-up date. It automatically fills on all these. Now, we got this, right? So let's say, for example, you want to change your follow-up scheduled days here, you'll notice I put day 4, day 7. Again, I understand what that means. So for me, this is just going to be my next follow-up date that I have in here. And I give myself a little room. So if I want it to be a day 7, I can simply come over here. You see where I highlighted this box? And you'll notice the formula is up here where it says equal date value, parentheses H2, parentheses plus 4. So the plus 4 means from box H2, this is H2 right here, I'm adding 4 days for this date for this to be October 2nd. If I wanted it to be 7 days, I come back here to the 4 and I change it to 7. And it is now 7 days. It changed it to the 5th. And again, if I want to change these, right, let's delete out the color. If I change it to 7 days as my follow-up date, I simply pull this down like this, and it's going to update all my dates. This date is now 7 days from this date. Totally up to you now that it moves forward like this. So in these formulas in this box, this is 15 days from day 1. So again, if I highlight this box, I come over here, it says equal date value, parentheses H2, parentheses plus 15 days. You'd say you don't want to do a 15-day follow-up. Maybe you want to do a 4-day and then a 7-day. Simply change this number right here, right? Once you change the number right here to whatever day that you want to follow up, if everybody sees this in the upper left-hand corner up here where my cursor is floating around here, here's your values. You simply come here, you're going to change that date, and then you're going to come down here and just pull it down so all of those dates change. So let me take off the color code there. I'm going to pull that off, and then say I want to change this to 20 days. So for example, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to come here and I'm going to change this to 20 days, right? It's a 20-day, and instead of being a day 15, it would be a 20-day follow-up. You notice this is 20 days from the 28th. I'm going to pull this down all the way down here. Now, all of those are in the 20 days from the date that was filled in over here. And again, as you go along, these dates are going to be your first day follow-ups. It might be the same day that you prospected somebody. So if I met somebody today and I agreed to meet them later today, I would put later today's date in here. Then that's going to schedule all the rest of my follow-up dates across here. Now, you don't have to necessarily follow up with somebody. If they say no, just read them out and move on. There's 7.6 billion people on the planet. You don't have to get stressed out about that in that process. Let me come back and change this to 15 days because I send this out to somebody, they will get all confused because the math won't work. And then scroll that down there. So that's going to be in any of these dates that I change over here now will automatically change these. So let's say that this date is actually November 22nd, 21. You'll notice all of my dates change for whatever dates that I put in here will automatically date. And if I don't have any dates, it says 0 valued out for that. I need to come back here and change this to 4-day and hit enter. Oh, what did I do? Backspace, enter, and let's pull all of these down this way. So that's working. And anytime you want to just go farther down, you just click in the box, put your cursor over the little square, and just drag it down. And it's going to give you give you an error. It'll give you an error message that says value in it because there's no date over here on this side. Until you fill in a date, it's always going to give you like this value question mark. But all of these, you'll notice the formula is +4. So if you don't want to do a 7-day, you want to do a 4-day, that's fine. Whatever days you want to put in here, that should work for you. Hopefully you got some value from this. If you want a copy of the Google Sheets form, reach out to me, comment below. I'm on YouTube right now. What is my email address? We'll figure it out. But comment below or send me a message on YouTube, or just say, hey, I want this, and we'll figure out how to connect. I didn't even think about that. I apologize. It's sort of doing the YouTube lives a little bit backwards from everything else. You can usually send a private message. I don't even know if you can do that on YouTube or not. But if you like my Google Sheets formula here, I'll need your Gmail address. We'll figure out how to get that over to you. You get your Gmail address to me, and I will share this with you so you have a copy of this. And again, make sure that you make a copy for you so you have this. If you need to come back and watch this on replay, for sure do that. Be sure to subscribe and like below, and tell your teammates about it. Tell your teammates and people that might be struggling with follow-up, they can come and watch this and get a lot of value. Really, I truly appreciate you. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be an equity creator. I'll be back here tomorrow at 3:45 Central Standard Time with some more business tips for you. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.